Good afternoon, YouTube and Free Readings Facebook. This is Will with Mystic Outlaw Tarot, back again after I think a month break. I believe we left off on Sagittarius, and now we're going to be doing Capricorn. So this reading is it's a Halloween reading. This is for the end of October and the beginning of November. Capricorn. Let's see what cards we got. Okay, your energy is represented by the Four of Cups reversed and Judgment. And the people in your life are represented by the Ten of Swords reversed and the High Priestess reversed. What draws you to the people in your life or what pulls you apart from them is Justice. Now, some potential outcomes up here. We've got the Empress in the World, and down here we've got the Knight of Cups reversed and the Ten of Cups, the prettiest card in the deck. Look how happy that is. Okay, so this month I see you going through some sort of disappointment. Something was presented to you that wasn't quite as it didn't measure up to your standard. It wasn't quite as good as you thought that it was going to be. And I believe that you made a judgment on it, and it may have been a hasty judgment. A judgment that you felt like was due, but you didn't have all the information at the time. You made this judgment out of your sense of disappointment. Or perhaps you made this judgment appropriately, but it wasn't the judgment that you wanted to make. This was a nasty call for you. This was something that it was a judgment made out of the feeling of disappointment or discontent or something that didn't line up the way that it was, and you laid your hammer down and you made your ruling, and that's what you decided to stick through to. And you felt like you were fair and justified in this judgment with the information that you had at the time, because the people in your life were keeping some sort of secret from you. There was something going on behind your back, and you felt a sense of betrayal. You felt stabbed in the back, and that completed the cycle with whoever this person was. And I believe that this person, they were doing something. They were doing something on the sly. They were coy, and they were maybe even a bit deceptive or hidden in the way that they did it. And I think that you're ready to close the door on this relationship, or your judgment in this situation and what you feel is fair is to sever ties and terminate whatever it was that was going on between you and this party or these people. And this could relate to a romantic interest, a family member, a coworker. These cards don't necessarily specify with the information that I have here, but I believe that you did what you felt was right, or you're going to do what you feel is right based on the information that you have at that time. And I don't see this being an easy decision to make. I see this as being like a relationship that you've had to nurture or cater to or put a lot of work into, a lot of feminine energy, a lot of like finesse. You've had to use your soft skills to make this happen. But I see this relationship coming to some sort of completion as being a positive thing. I see it coming full circle, and I think that there's a great potential that you've made the right choice, and weeding whatever it is out of your life was what you needed to do to move forward. And I don't see this necessarily being a bad thing for you. And the cards below would represent the same as well. So I see, again, and this could relate to a romantic interest, as we have the Knight of Cups reversed right here. And I see the Knight of Cups reversed. I see the Knight of Cups reversed as like a playboy. He's somebody that's real. He's real slick with his words. He's got a good deal of emotional intelligence, and he takes action on what he's doing, but he doesn't do it for the right reason. He's the type of card that will get you into bed after the first Tinder date, and you won't talk to him ever again after that. So I see you recognizing these types of people that you have in your life, the people that are untrue or faint of heart. And I see you not being willing to cater to these people any longer. I see you cutting through all of the bullshit that has stood before you and making a making a judgment. Wasn't a good judgment, but it was a judgment that was justified. And I ultimately see this is a fairly simple reading here. What I see here is I see you being disappointed, making a harsh judgment due to some sort of betrayal or something that happened that was behind your back or somewhat sneaky. And I see nothing but positivity coming from this. I think that you're making the right decision. So this might not apply to everybody, but if you're planning on cutting someone out of your life or something out of your life that's no longer serving you, I think the month of November would be the month to do it. We have the Ten of Cups card here, and this is one of my favorite cards in the deck. And I see this as like the fairy tale ending. And we can look at this card like many different ways, but I see this as the ending that's going to bring you happiness. And I look at this to almost in contrast to the this is the relationship that you had with whoever it is that this reading is geared towards. And this is the Ten of Swords reversed. Now I see this as an ending that required a great deal of thought and consideration, but it was not favorable to you. And the actions that were taken were behind your back. I mean, you can see all the swords stabbed into this man's back. And I see that happening, and you reacting to this properly, and you doing the right thing, and you behaving with grace and good judgment, proper judgment, not the judgment that you wanted to make, but proper judgment. And it's leading to it's leading to a sense of completion and happiness for you. So I want you to have confidence in the actions that you're going to take or you have taken, because you've done the right thing, Capricorn. So now we are going to draw some. We're not going to do oracle cards. I don't have my oracle decks here today. I do, but I've been using the Lenormand deck as oracle cards, kind of like I used the Radiant Sun in some of my previous videos. I like the artwork on these for a change. So we're just going to read these. We're not going to play Lenormand. We're going to read the cards how we see them. And I think that these cards are fairly cohesive with the Rider-Waite deck. It almost looks like it's not, but it's very similar artwork to Pamela Coleman Smith's art. So we'll draw 4 Lenormand cards and place them on the table, and we'll hold them up one by one. And we're going to read these cards at face value. And we're not going to go too in depth unless something stands out that might be shocking or might line up with the rest of the reading. All right, here we go. The first card that I drew was mice. And if you look at that, there's 4 mice on the table there and 3 cups. And I see this kind of coinciding to the 4 of cups here. I see the mice card as a card of disappointment or discontent or something that's over and done with and is kind of just left out to stagnate, or perhaps a return to nature, because if you look, the mice at the table are eating what was no longer fit for the humans to eat. So they're returning it to nature and they're making do. It's a recycling card. I see this somewhat similar to the death card. So out with the old and in with the new. The next card I drew was the Gentleman. The Gentleman. Now maybe we could relate that to perhaps our Knight of Cups down there. I see a gentleman as somebody who is, it's someone who's very cultured, someone who is a linguist, someone who knows how to make people like them. I see that as a card of charisma. I drew the Moon. A time of darkness before dawn. Good things are on the way, but we might have to wait for them, and we might have to be blind for a while or go in the dark. And I see this as coinciding with the decision that we're going to make. It's not going to feel right, but it is going to be the right decision, and it's going to be what we have to do to get ahead in this particular situation. And finally, I've drawn the dog. And I see the dog as a card of happiness, as a card of loyalty, and a card of companionship. Capricorn, I really hope this was helpful to you. The decks used in this reading were Pixie's Astounding Lenormand, and the Pamela Coleman Smith Rider-Waite playing card deck. I'm sorry I didn't get you guys a proper October reading. I get to these when I get to them. And I will catch you guys in the next reading. Thank you very much for viewing.